BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything online sports betting. Right now, you can receive a 50% free bet of up to $250 on your first deposit to bet on anything from the Olympics to baseball to Formula One racing. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BLEAV for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
But listen, I wanna thank you guys, for the kudos because Toby, you're in education. Sometimes this is a thankless job.
Mm-hmm.
I do this thing because I love it, and I can't say that enough. You have to love it. Like the way that we do band at Jackson State, like we're always on the go. Like Danielle, you're on the calls right now where we're trying to raise funds to get the Pasadena, California. Like I'm as soon when I wake up, I'm going down my list, making sure that this band is moving forward in some type of way. Of course, my family is first, and then it's just everything after that. So with that being said, to do it the way that we do it, my staff and I do it, you have to love it, and this is a labor of love, 100%. And so I want to thank you guys for again giving kudos to myself, and when you give kudos to me, ultimately you give kudos to my staff and students.
Oh yes, for sure.
Because I always like to elevate them and always like to give them the praise and the glory because I feel like I'm just a conduit to get the job done. And then to your point, Toby, when I leave, there's somebody else turn up the bat and to keep that mantle going and move the brand program forward. So I appreciate you guys, and I'm very, very, very elated to be on and allowing us to fellowship amongst each other. And I just want to encourage you guys to keep doing what you're doing.
Hey, Reezy, we're gonna have to go over a little bit because I got like three questions.
We good. As long as Dr. Rod is available, we can flex a little bit. So go ahead. You ready for yours? I got one, but I'm a yield.
If that's okay with Dr. Rod.
Yeah, because he like.
It's funny, Maurice. He was the first person to start calling me that. Maurice Gibson.
Real. I've never. So here's the joke is this: like when you go to like a summer camp or Bible study or vacation Bible school, it's like the person that's older is not like old. So you call them by their first name. You want to be respected.
Mr. Rod, Mr. Kevin, Mr. Red, Mr. Toby.
So that's where they came from. I never even heard Maurice. You are crazy. So that's where they came from. I never heard Maurice say that. That's funny. I hope when he sees this, Maurice, you got to tell us the story of how the name Dr. Rod came up from your perspective in 2004. 04, right? 04, 05, somewhere around that.
He actually started calling me Dr. Rob, and I got my doctorate. When I finished my dissertation, that's when he started calling me Dr. Rob.
Come on now, Dr. Rod. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Shout out Maurice.
Shout out Maurice.
And
higher education on here.
Love Maurice.
All right, so we're gonna keep going for a few minutes because I'm hoping that people are enjoying this show, man. Once again, thank you, Doc, for coming on, man. But I got something I want to jump into real quick. I had two things, but I want to jump into this one here. So for the first time in all of my attending HBCU or any football game program, national football contest, if you will, I've never seen a former drum major / band director take the field in what would be considered a uniform of some sort for comfort or to just get down and boogie woogie on the 50-yard line. So this past year, I I was able to witness, and that year would have been 2023. Okay, didn't want to timestamp anything, but 2023, I was able to witness the current Jackson State University director of bands put on an outfit and get on the field, and we lost our minds in the stand. We were like, "Rod, what are you doing? He finna march? Did he stretch? Is there some Bengay in? What do we need? Do we need to call an ambulance? Is he finna go and do it? What is he finna do?" So, man, so kudos to you on that. That was a part of my flowers. But I want to speak to that real quick and just just touch on it however you want to. Like, what was the motivation for you as director of bands? Usually, when you're done, these old bones, these 44-year-old bones don't do the same thing that they did in 2021. Man, what inspired you to put on? What inspired you to get on that field in March and boogie woogie, sir?
Let's get this show started with our alumni and current JSU drum major. Wait, is that our director of bands, Dr. Roderick?
When I got to Jackson State, the kids would always like ask me like, hey, march back with us, or get on the drum, play series and things like that. And of course, I find value in that because we have alums do that all the time.
Yep.
But the thing for me was, and this is what I always tell the students, that I had my time. I had my time to wear that uniform. Now it's my time on the other side of it to contribute to the program in this way. And so I want the students to always have their time, and I don't want to take anything away from what they're doing. But in regards to homecoming this year, I just felt like, it was time to do it. We had actually had a call with some of the alumni drum majors. Super Dave was on the call, and some others as well. And I was already thinking about it anyway because my boys was asking me like, Doc, you gonna get out there on just like they do every year? Like, you gonna get a split out, you gonna get the show, you gonna what you gonna do this year? And it just so happened that I want to say that Karamu had mentioned something about it, and then Tammy chimed in, and Tammy said, like, look, man, it'll mean a lot to a lot of people. It'll mean a lot to me, if you went out there and you did it. I think it'll be something that'll be trailblazing. And when she put her rubber stamp on it, and again, she does not realize this probably, but I told you what she said to me when I came in as a freshman, right, about drum major. And then when she said that to me, like, hey, man, I think it'll be a good idea. I'm like, okay, consider it done. So it was motivation, primarily from my students, the current drum major squad. And then, when Tammy chimed in, like, look, man, I really think you should do it. I think it'll be hit. And that's when I was like, okay, we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. Now, my style, they made me put on the windsuit. That was our little band style windsuit. I was gonna get out there and bust it in the uniform.
No, you wasn't. No, you were not.
That's
not in them shoes. Not in them shoes. Your ankle would have been swole today. Right now, he would have had the Sherman clump ankles. No, sir.
Yeah, no, but that was a good idea. That's why my staff, you got to surround yourself people who
are good people.
Absolutely.
They was smarter, and so I put on that windsuit, man. And I went out there and shoot, man, it was like being 20, 21 all over again. Getting out there and being able to be a part of that game day atmosphere, not just as a director, because like some of you guys mentioned, like you noticed me at the games. I'm always laser sharp focused. I'm listening for what the other man is doing on the other side of the field, what my kids are doing, making sure they staying out of trouble, and just kind of looking around and making sure that we're doing the things that we need to do. What are we doing after the game? What's coming up next? And once we get done with the show, I'm thinking about next week, like already. So I'm consistently thinking at the game. But there was a time for me during that moment to just not be the director at the time. It was to be once more a member of the Sonic Boom of the South as an alumni J5 member. So I enjoyed every moment of it.
Love it.
Hey, Doc Rod, I got a two-part question.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to look in the past and we're going to look in the future. What the Crabs of 2020, That was the first year of COVID, mask and all that. I've been on the record earlier in this season, early in the season. I said, I think that this is the best, the 23 class Sonic Boom of the South. I said, I felt that this is the best Sonic Boom of the South ever. Probably the best band ever, because it just felt that way early in the season. But I know that those freshmen that came in 2020, this was their senior year. What made that class special? Because I give them credit for their leadership, and attitude reflects leadership that's coming from you and your staff. What made that class so special? And looking forward, because you guys have a huge recruiting class coming in from all over the country.
Right.
What's going to make this incoming class special?
Well, to your point, Toby, the special thing about the class of 2020 is quite simple. They showed up, and what I mean by that is, man, we had a hopefully the first and the last spring band camp, and so here was January, and it's cold, and of course it was COVID, so we had to spread the students out. So we weren't in band hall. We had to rehearse in the GPR in the Reddick, and I just didn't know who was going to show up that first day. I sent out all the correspondence, like, look, be here at this certain time. And I just asked God, like, look, God, whatever shows up, that's what we're going to rock with. And when, like, all of that 100 and something, that was a large class. Whenever that 100 and something of those students showed up, I knew right there and then that those students were special because they believed in the Sonic Boom of the South so much that they broke down the barriers of COVID because it was running rampant at that time. We had Miss Led and I, we literally had we had on our scrubs and our face masks. We tested every single student, swab, nose, us, me and Miss Led, every single student band, just so we can have band. So those students, when they came and they just showed up, that let me know that this was going to be a transformational class, right? And when you get freshman class to come in, sometimes they see some things that may not be quite right. And I had a lot of them that come up to me during their freshman and say, "Doc, we want to be the class that change this thing." Like, we hear what you're saying. We see your vision. We want to help you, turn this ship. And lo and behold, Toby, that's what they did. They rocked with us all the way up to that point. And again, going not just through COVID, but snowstorms, winter storms, being without water, just kind of all of those things. And they stuck with it. And as a result, we saw the fruits of that labor. Now, moving forward with other classes, I'm happy to say that this class that we got coming up is gonna be lights out. Like they some dogs. They some dogs, and you know what? I'm gonna stick them on the upper class, and I want the upper class to stick them too. Like it's gonna be that healthy competition amongst the class, the upper class, and the freshmen. But one thing is that I think they're going to see seniors doing the program the way that they should be doing the program because so often, sometimes when we reach our senior year, we get tired. When we get tired, we tend to do some things that we're not supposed to be doing. But the class of 2020, they didn't do that. They were very deliberate about, okay, if this is the standard, if this is the expectation, the staff is holding us to this expectation. We're going to meet this expectation every single time. And when the freshmen see that, that's golden because in their mind, they're coming in for the first time and they're thinking, oh, this is where it's supposed to be. And so it sets us up for 4 more years.
Right.
Right? So I'm excited about this year. To see your point, Toby, we're not on an incline in any means of imagination. We're definitely going. We're not on a decline. We're on an incline. Going up. So we're not declining in any way. And so I'm just eager to get these freshmen in. We start band camp on July the 28th, and so they're going to have consummate leadership from our senior class, and every class in between is just going to be the white part, the sweet part in the Oreo to make it sound sour.
EAT.
Eat all the time.
Eat all the time.
Yo, so that's oh my gosh, it's so much. It's so much history. There are so many things that go on just in FD Music Hall itself, the building. So many things. There's so many family oriented things with total strangers that you don't even know, but it's automatic because music brings us together. Music charms our soul. Music just it opens up the doors for us to be on one accord, man. And I'm hearing these stories, and it's amazing to have you on, director of bands. It's amazing to have you on. It's amazing to hear the stories that people don't really hear. They see you in hat, uniform. You're boom, you're focused. That's Dr. Little, director of bands.
Yeah.
But everybody don't get the opportunity to hear from Rod. You know what I'm saying? From Rod. Like, because Rod was Rod before he was Dr. Little, but Rod is still Rod. And it's like to hear these stories, man. And we got a few more minutes, to hear these stories, man, is breathtaking, it's mind-blowing to hear how and our viewers and our listeners can know that, man, it's a whole lot more to just playing your horn. That's important. You have to know your horn. You have to be able to be great on your instrument. But there are some things that go on behind that to keep you motivated to play your horn. You know what I'm saying? I got my horn right here. I ain't played it in a while, but it's right here. So it's just to hear the. Don't do that. What you say? Though?
That's step one. Have the horn.
Step two, mouthpiece in my bag. I got it. But anyway, so it's good to hear these stories, man. So man, I can appreciate what you're doing, and what you have done, and I really can appreciate your backstory.
Yes.
Your backstory is full circle to me. You talk about middle school, boom. High school, Mr. Castle was like 833 Lanier. Shout out to all the 833 Bulldogs. So even though you know what it is on this end, but I ain't gonna get into that. But shout out to 833, man. So Mr. Caston, so it's like that's a full circle moment because he knew that he didn't say you and 3 other of your buddies. He said you. And I'm gonna go in here and go to sleep.
What? Well, you brought up a good point, Terrell. I feel like that I am connected in a lot of ways, and I'll try to, I guess, go through it quickly because one of the forefathers of our program name is Kermit Holly Sr. And he actually started the program with students from the near high school. Early 40s.
Oh, really? Come on with the history. Come on, history. I didn't know that. Say that one more time. Say one more time. Sorry.
Kermit Holly Sr., he was one of the individuals that actually started the marching band at Jackson State University. And he would take students from Lanier and mix them in with students at Jackson State College at the time to represent the university, the college. And one of those students was Dolly Emmy Robinson, who taught us music history. She was the dean of College. Her name is on the building to this day. She went to Lanier. Now, Al Taylor, who's also one of my mentors, and he was my boss when I first got hired at Jackson State, Dr. Caston hired him at Kentucky State as director of bands. Dr. Caston, also my high school band director, taught my middle school band director.
Come on.
And Doc has some ties with the Lanier High School as well. I'm pretty sure he probably told you guys, his involvement with the civil rights movement. He walked with the students at Lanier High School, and so it's like so many people has been connected to Lanier. And for me to have this opportunity, I don't think that that's by happenstance or coincidence. That's why I just thank God for the opportunity to do what I'm doing, because like I said, this is something that you have to love. And when I just made all those connections at one point, I was like, man, I mean, it's just divine intervention. And so again, to your point, Toby, I'm just here for a time to make things better than what I found it, and that's my goal for our students and for the next person coming in.
And I think there's more connections there because you marched under Dr. Liddell, who was director of bands, and then Murray was on staff when you were marching. And he was director for a couple of years. Then you worked under Dow Taylor, DT. So that tailor-made people, and then you became the director. So like you the one person that's like connected to everybody. Like, so that's crazy.
And then I talked to Harold Halden probably once every 2 months.
Wow.
Mhm.
You know, and
What?
yeah, he's an intentional man about always telling me about how proud he is, you know,
Mhm.
about the job that we're doing with programming. And that means so much to me because that man,
Mhm.
he put a lot in, like all of the stuff that most of us, I can't say all, most of the
Mhm.
stuff that the Jackson State is known for, Tiger Run on, floating JSU, you know,
Mhm.
the J sets being named J sets during that time, all that happened under his tutelage.
Yeah.
And so, you know, so to hear that from him, you know, it's just a different
It's different.
accolade. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quick question. How did you, and we talked about this in an earlier episode, because it kind of played out, this 2023 year played out kind of like a storybook. Um, when you guys went to the ESPN Battle of the Bands and battled against North Carolina A&T, and I can say you can't, but we were definitely robbed in that, because it was probably the greatest show that the Sonic Boom did that I've ever seen. Like when I saw it the first time live, I was like, oh yeah, they killed that. Y'all did a drum feature and they made 2 X's and then they did a company front. And you know, the core style heart in me was like, oh, that is freaking amazing. I didn't know the Boom could do stuff like that. I didn't even know it was possible. It was awesome. And at that moment, after turning the TV off, I said, I think they might be playing for Usher. Or like it for home, because I knew at that time that Usher was doing the halftime show for the Super Bowl. It just made so much sense, you know. But nobody was talking, nobody was saying anything, so I really, really didn't know. How did you get those kids to buy in and just shut up and not tell? Did they
Well,
even know at that point? You can talk about it now. Did they know at that point when they were doing the Usher show that it was a possibility that they were going to be playing for Usher?
they didn't know, man, but students are smart.
Yeah.
They are brilliant, actually. So, you know, they pick up on stuff. And actually, Toby, we knew that we were going to the Super Bowl prior to that event.
Mhm.
Tez had hit me up and we had kind of worked things out prior to that. And we had a staff meeting, you know, just kind of throwing ideas around. And you know, we just got to Usher and we said, everybody's going to think that because of this show that we did, Usher called us up personally, like, look, I saw the show was dope. Y'all
Mhm.
come over to the Super Bowl. And so that's what a lot of people actually thought.
Mhm.
In retrospect, it was the opposite. You know, we knew that we were going and we just thought it would be cool to go ahead and make that play off of Usher
Mhm.
and, you know, make it to the Super Bowl. But the way that we kept the students quiet is that they just had to sign NDAs.
Mhm.
And I literally told them, like, look, if you guys share this or leak this information, this is the Super Bowl. They can find a band like this.
Mhm.
It's not a situation where, oh, we got Jackson State locked in, we can't find anybody else. Yeah,
Right.
they had the student social media handles and all that. So they was kind of monitoring the students and seeing what they were doing.
Mhm.
So that's how we kept the word quiet. I didn't even tell my mama mad at me to this day. She like my own son. I like I couldn't because my mama she gonna tell everybody.
Everybody.
Of course.
So like my mom, like, hey,
Of course.
hey, sister, you can't tell anybody this,
But
But
yes, I didn't even tell my mom, man. So I just didn't want to mess up that amazing opportunity for not only Jackson State University, man, but for the whole state of Mississippi, all HBCUs. I didn't want to ruin that opportunity. So and the students did not. So.
cool.
they did a great job. I will say that
Yeah, they did.
because
Absolutely.
literally, it was like when the show happened. Well, when, you know, of course, halftime happened. I'm sitting on the couch like, the Boom is on TV.
Yeah.
I said, Crystal, look. I called my mom. I said, Mama, you watching? You see the Boom? So that was amazing. That's a long story. That's another 89 minutes. But
Yeah,
y'all
so
did
my sister was like, hey, is this Jackson State? I was
She
like, how would
called
you
you?
know? She said, the colors. I was like, what?
She didn't see the bass. She didn't see the bass drum.
No,
That
she
boy
saw
had
the
it on.
colors that they had on.
How they
And
move?
she
It
was
just
like,
looked like it.
that looks like Jackson State's colors. That's
It
what
was
she
that
said.
blue. It was that blue. It was that blue, wasn't it?
It's
That blue.
Yeah.
That blue. It's that blue.
I'm gonna tell y'all, man. Like Jackson
That
State
blue,
has
baby.
made me cry
That blue,
more in the past 4 years than any time that I was there.
What?
Yes, like I'm sitting on the couch because I love this school, man. I love this school. I love the Sonic Boom of the South. I have a passion for it. I'm rocking Jackson State hats, like just to go to the grocery store every day. Nobody know about Jackson State. Now they do in Florida, but like,
Come on.
you know, I'm repping Jackson State like every day. But College Game Day, when y'all did that, because I watch College Game Day every Saturday, and it's never been a thought Jackson State would be on there. But when as soon as they came on and I heard them start talking, and I saw all those beautiful people in the audience, and I saw the boom right there, and I think it was playing Southern at the time, a Southern band right there, and I'm like crying, like a baby on the couch. My son, he always picking up. He's like, "Are you crying? Why?" He don't know how big of a deal this is. In the Super Bowl, man, I didn't even care who won that game, man. When I saw you guys on there, I'm like, I'm crying like a freaking baby. I'm like, they did it. And like, it feels like we are ancestors, even though we still living. But I feel like we played a part in this, man, because they're doing some of the same stuff that we were doing. So it's like, like, I ain't dead yet, but like, we ancestors. So.
Right. Yeah, no, man. And you guys are bringing up so many things that that we've done as a staff. Doing my tutelage as director of bands. The way that I operate is, I'm always next. So sometimes I don't get the bask in the now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, with College Game Day, of course, that was brought on by Coach Prime, and he brought a different set of eyes and notoriety to the university, and we rode that wave, man. College Game Day. We were on Good Morning America.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he did the documentary series that he did on Amazon. We was a part of that. So, I mean, we were just riding that wave. And again, there's just kind of more eyes on our program, getting the word out there, because we know the impact of the Sonic Boom of the South. It's time for the world to know.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we endeavored to do when I took this job back in 2020, because we only had a couple of good performances we can hang our hat on. There was Motown 30. Mm-hmm. Back in 1990, and it was the NAACP Awards, and a couple others sprinkled in between. We talk about national exposure, like those are the two, and our program is just so better. Mm-hmm. Everybody needs to see the esteemed regiment of the Sonic Boom of the South on national stages almost every time they turn on their TV. And so that's what we endeavor to do, and I'm glad we had those opportunities.
That's what I'm talking about. My band director is WT.
I love it.
That's wild, man.
And shout out to we just hired Dr. Justin Sherrod, man.
Shout out
Justin. What up, baby? Congratulations. I need to text him.
Come to the show, Justin.
I want to thank Mr. Berry for taking his time out and hitting that road. Mr. Berry used to he used to drive from Louisiana to Mississippi, man. Just to help mentor our students. So I want to thank him. And but now Justin is in full time. And we're very excited about, where he's going to take WT, man. It's going to be something unworldly. So I'm super excited about that.
And so speaking on, sorry, Terrell.
No, go ahead. No.
And so speaking on the band staff, are you going to talk about Justin? Okay,
it's just random. It's just I was just going to talk about how I know him. His dad and my dad are friends. That's all I want to say. Keep going.
I got a Justin story too. We just got to get him.
Go ahead. We'll get that later. We'll get that later.
Okay, we got Justin stories. Okay. But speaking to, your band staff, I feel like this is, I don't know if it is, but this is, to my knowledge, the first all Jackson State Sonic Boom band staff. Is that correct?
I'm going through my Rolodex trying to think about it, because we had Joe Goree, we had, of course, Duplessis, we had Mr. Adams, we had Myron Gregory, had Gerber, so I Dr. Ware, just people who wasn't graduates at the time who had served our program in some capacity. But I think this is the first time we had an all Jackson State University.
Whoa!
And that makes me proud. And
that's wild.
And that I ain't gonna speak on it. Anyway,
speak on it, then, go. Speak on it.
Is there another position available? Is there another position open?
Well, we had we did the position that Dr. Sherrod has and Justin has. I switched it over to percussion because I felt like there was more than anything. Young man in the percussion section, so I just flipped the particular title to percussion.
Oh, love it.
That's awesome.
Love it. Okay. All
right. That's dope. Look, we got about 10 minutes, guys, in about 10 minutes. About 10 more minutes. All right. So this is what I want to ask. I want to say this here. So, Dr. Rod, I love that. It just fits.
It's sticking now. You gonna be Dr. Rod?
He'll be. Look, I'm gonna be. Look,
hit him at the game with him when he walked
Dr. Rod.
all our brothers and sisters of the Sonic Boom, go ahead. But to my students that may be watching this, don't you try that.
Don't try, students. Take it
Don't
from me.
try it. Do
You heard
not
it.
try it.
You heard it from your professor
Don't try that.
and your
Don't lose
favorite,
don't
one of
lose
your
your
favorite
scholarship.
podcasters. Don't call him that. So look, I want to ask you this question. And I've lost the thought. Goodness gracious, it was good too. Oh no, it's back. Boom. So so I wanted to ask you at this point. So we, like I said, we got about 10 minutes here, maybe 11 and a half. Do you have any shout outs, any people you want to, raise the roof to? You know what I'm saying? You got any words that you want to just share to our listeners, to our viewers, to our former band staff, to our former band members, to our future band members, just alumni, non-boom people, anybody who's watching this, man? Do you have anything that you just want to share that's on your heart? Take your time.
Absolutely. Sometimes when you're giving thanks, you can leave some individuals out. So, if I do leave anybody out, just charge it to my head and not my heart. But first and foremost, be my wife, man. I met my wife in the Sonic Boom of the South. She's a native of Houston, Texas.
Word.
Typically women make sacrifices for men to live out their dreams. And it's the same way, it goes both ways. But, sometimes a woman makes a sacrifice more than a man. And she stayed here with me in Jackson. I shared with her the vision that I had and where I wanted to go in my career, and she backed it 100%. And she continues to back it 100%. And my kids, they have to share their dad with the Sonic Boom. I'm out raising other people's kids, and it's fine. It's what I signed up for, and I love it. But I just always want to make sure that my sons understand that I'm their dad. So number one would be my wife and my kids, my family. And then number two would, of course, be my brothers and sisters, which is our staff, man. We already mentioned Kevin. Kevin is just a good man. He's just a good human being. And when you have a staff, you want to indoctrinate yourself and surround yourself with people that you can trust because you're around them all the time. And he's just a stand-up human being.
Yes.
And of course, we all know his acumen as an educator. And then, of course, I just mentioned Justin. We just got him on, and my right hand woman is Courtney Lett. That's my ride or die. It takes a lot to run this program, guys. When I say a lot, like people, they don't know the half. Like when they see social media, they see all this stuff out, but it's some work behind that, right? And so she's the person that helps me with getting all of the ideas that we have together. And we got some stuff that we're gonna be dropping, some big news that we're gonna be dropping soon. And so all of that stuff, is spearheaded between she and I in regards to the administrative side. And of course, Mr. Crowley, who has done an outstanding job with a thrill of a million eyes, relevant in this time because with YouTube, everybody can see everything that we do. And so by her and those young ladies remaining vigilant and remaining relevant during this time is something that it's just amazing. And last and certainly not least, individuals with doing an outstanding job with the Wind Ensemble. He's been a gentleman that's been with us since '07. And so, I respect, everything that he has given to the program for so many years. So he's doing a good job with that group. And then we have a retention and compliance coordinator. That's basically the academic lady. Something unique to our staff. She makes sure that the students are going to class. She makes sure that they have everything that they need in regards to, study hours. And we have an actual learning lab to where students can go and study and things of that nature. So my staff is second to none. And last and definitely not least, and I probably want to put them ahead of the staff, is our students. We have, and I know each director will probably say this, and each will probably say this, but we got the best students that anybody can have. Without them and their talents and their blood, sweat, and tears, it wouldn't be us. Jackson State would not be in business. So definitely our students, and I know I said last and certainly not least, it's our administrators, our administration. President Thompson is a godsend. Of course, he's the newly minted president of Jackson State University, and you guys are going to hear about some initiatives that he has definitely helped us with the Sonic Boom of the South. We can't do this thing without administrative support. We just got a new provost. I hadn't had the opportunity to meet her yet, but I know she's going to be outstanding for us. our department chair, Dr. Rico Chapman, our not department chair, our college dean of the College of Liberal Arts. I'm sorry, Dr. Rico Chapman, and our department chair, Dr. Lisa Beckler Roberts. She's a real one. I would say she's a kind of de facto Sonic Boom member because she really
Yes.
program. And so, with that, I can't do what I do without all of those individuals that I just named.
Awesome.
Our family, of course, our current students, to staff and administration. I think I covered all the ground. And of course, and again, I keep thinking about people, all of the alumni who have supported in any type of way, who has not only just given their donation to the program, but just letting our students know how awesome they are. Not necessarily us as a staff, but just our students. Just let our students know that they're doing a great job. Uplift them. I want to thank all of those people who are supporting our students. So I think I called everybody, but if I didn't, again, my head and not my heart.
Man, hey, you covered them, everybody. You covered.
He did. Well, I ain't gonna let that slide because we'll see if we can get the opportunity. You say you got some big news coming. You want to go ahead and spoil that on here?
You know what? I would, but it's getting
You said it's getting kind of late.
I mean, you gonna ask, closed mouth don't get fed.
It's getting kind of late, there, boy.
It's gonna be transformative, though. It's gonna be transformative. Something we've been working on for a number of years, and it's gonna benefit our students heavily. So we can't wait to share it in probably about a week or so.
Awesome.
That's love. Hey, man, this has been a treat. It has been a pleasure. We got about 5 more minutes, man. We just, we just shooting around a little bit, man. I really so I'm wearing the Musa Mu shirt, right? So Musa Mu, you just gotta, if you know, Milky, you know what I'm saying? The three's up. So we did a for JSU Day of Giving this past from 2023. We Shell B was responsible for bringing back the old shows that were on BET back in like the mid to late 90s, early 2000s, and Hits from the Streets was one of those shows. So myself, Cedric Gilmer, VJ, we call him Vibrant, Caraway, we were on Hits from the Streets, and we needed to get the uniform so we can relive that moment from back in the day. VJ wasn't able to make it, so Bassett and I, we came, and I got the Musa Mu shirt on, just represent. So shout out to Dr. Ra for allowing us to put on a band uniform. Y'all, I put on a band uniform.
It fit
like
different.
it was. I was like, I've not. What you say, to what?
It fit different, right?
It fit. I did not put the same size that I had on back in 99, 98, 99, 2000, 99, 2000. I was not taking over, but it was crazy to put on. So thanks. Thank you, Doc, for allowing us to borrow the uniform, man, to get our size. And it was crazy. It was crazy, y'all. So the nostalgia in that is this, though. I'm joking, but the nostalgia was, I put on a band uniform, and I hadn't put on a band uniform in over 20 years. I didn't have to march. I didn't march anywhere. I didn't grab a horn. But to be able to, Sid and I, we were putting clothes on. I was like, yo, I've not stepped into these pants in over 20 years. And it's like you step in them and you pull them up and you put the suspenders on. And it's like, oh my gosh, this wool is hot. We marched and danced in these clothes. So people out here complaining about the heat. You don't know heat until you put on no band uniform. But I got off on a tangent. So I appreciate you, man. So you allowed us to do that. I shared the video. I pop it up, another time. But man, I just appreciate you, man, for allowing us to do that. Because you could have said, no, we don't have it. You could have. But thank you, bro. I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, man. Really.
Yeah, no, it was up when Cheryl B reached out. Like, absolutely, we got to recreate that. And shameless plug, we're looking at trying to sell our uniform. We got 2 generations. Old uniforms at Jackson State, and so we're looking at selling those as a fundraiser.
Really?
So that's an exclusive for you guys. So
okay. We'll take that.
What?
Definitely take that.
I don't have a date when we're going to roll that out yet, but that's definitely a goal of ours to sell our old uniforms. Of course, to people who can take care of it, have a reverence and a deep love for it. And so there's some things that we're working on to get that out there to those that they want to partake.
Okay, that's awesome. So you sell it because I know certain schools sell uniforms to other schools, but no, this is to individuals.
Yeah.
So I can get a pullover. Okay,
right. Toby got a shoulder cord.
Listen, how much can I get a shoulder cord for? About $40. Shoulder cord about $40.
Doc gave us those. We didn't have to buy them done yet.
I stole this.
What? You
How
stole
much the
it?
shoulder
Yeah,
cord
I'm
going for
WT.
though?
I'm
We
old
haven't
WT. I'm old
worked out the
WT.
price list yet. We still in discussion, so we're doing that, and then we're also opening. We have a Sonic Boom store, but we're doing one that people probably want to patronize a little bit more. Have some people that's just been recognizing our looks and public figures, so we're going to be opening up a store with him as well here soon, so people can go out and buy our previous windsuits and things like that that the
Love
band.
that. That's great. That's wonderful.
So all fundraising, and one thing I don't want to leave out is that we're going to have a day of giving or a fundraiser for the Tournament of Roses on the 19th
Speak
Right.
on it.
of
Speak
July.
on it.
And so
Speak
we
on
want
it.
to
Yeah.
make sure that everybody, just checks that out and also patronize as well, because it's going to cost close to $1 million to get our students to Pasadena, and it's going to cover, of course, everything that's airfare, that's ground, that's attractions. They're going to Disney World, they're going to Universal Studios. Of course, they're doing a parade, and so just an outstanding opportunity for our students. So again, any alumni that may be listening to this, you don't have to be an alum of the band, just any alum or friend of the band program. You don't even have to be affiliated with Jackson State University. Please give to the cause and make sure that our students have an opportunity to go to Pasadena. And it doesn't just have to be the 19th. It can be all the way up until we put our students on that plane and go represent Jackson State University to the highest echelon.
How can they give? How can they give? How can
So
they give?
they can give in a number of ways. The quickest way is visiting the website www.jsums.edu/roses. That's a quick way to give. Of course, that's an automatic thing in regards to you put in your credit card number. You can give in that way, or you can just reach an institutional advancement and just call them up. We have a lot of fans that may not be tech savvy, and rightfully so. They don't believe in doing things on the computer. So you can call institutional advancement, and they'll let you know how to mail your checks in and your payments in. So we can do that, those two different ways to give to this cause.
Yeah. Guys, I don't think a lot of people understand how important this is. Like the Tournament of Roses parade is the biggest parade. Like, this is a bucket list parade that I always wanted to go to since marching in middle school. Like, this is and Pasadena is beautiful. So like this is awesome that you guys getting this opportunity. And I don't think people understand. Like, when you say $1 million, if everybody gives something, these kids are going. We have high school programs that go to Macy's parade, Tournament of Roses. They do the fundraisers. They make this stuff happen. They fly over, they do the parade, and they get their school some notoriety. It's no reason why we are not in a position. We are in a position where we can support our school and make sure that these kids get this life-changing experience. So please give to that.
You hit the nail right on the head. So.
Absolutely. JSUMS.edu/roses.
Yes.
Yep. All good. All right. If all minds and hearts are clear, we're gonna let Dr. Rod get back to his family.
You sound like you got to do the benediction.
I am, and the collection plate. Look, the collection plate is on the way, right behind.
We need to do a collection.
We collected for the Roses Parade. This is going to the Jackson State University. So, Dr. Rod, I want to say once again, thank you. I appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you for coming on. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you and your wife and your family for allowing us to share you this evening. We share it. Tell them I said thank you.
Please let them know that we appreciate.
Let them know we said thank you.
That. Thank you.
We know they waiting on you. They waiting on you right now. It's Wednesday, man. It's in the middle of the week. They waiting on you. But anyway, thank you, sir. And I'm done. I'm gonna let Toby done. Yeah, y'all got anything? We're gonna sign off here.
Right. That's it, man. Dr. Rod, unless you got anything else you want to say or share?
No, man. Again, kudos to you guys, and the good thing is you guys are not going to have any shortage of content because you got millions of former Sonic Boom members to interview. So you guys going to be going on a long time, and you guys started something that's going to be monumental for a lot of years. So thank you guys for chronicling our stories. It means a lot.
I'm going to tell you, it's a pleasure for you to come on the show because we've had Chloe, we've had Kevin on the show, and it's always been a goal of ours to be able to get you on when you had time. Because it solidifies the show for one, but we want the world to know how special you are and the amount of work that you've done to contribute to the success of the Sonic Boom of the South and Jackson State University. So for that, we appreciate you. We thank you. We love you. And you know, anytime you have an opportunity or anytime you need something to put out there, or you want to share something, please reach out to us and come back. And you know, we'll do another hour, 34 minutes and 24 seconds.
Ish.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, guys, and love the boom. I mean, that's all I have to say. So
Love the boom. Esprit de corps, baby.
Love the boom. Y'all remember the pledge? Don't worry about that.
You're not about to do it.
Don't do it. You started. I'll finish it, baby.
Love the boom. That's how you
That's it.
Love the boom.
Love the boom. Look, y'all. So that's it. So Dr. Rod, don't leave yet. We got the after the show.
Pleasure, service, and best goodwill.
So that's it right here, right?
you get started.
Just came back to me.
He came back. He ready for it.
I'm ready right now.
Look, all right, y'all. That's it. Thank y'all for tuning in to Tiger Talk TV. This is Band Sessions with the Boom. It's your boy Terrell Key, aka T Reezy.
It's your girl Danielle, aka Don Yeezy.
It's your boy Toby Johnson, Furious Styles.
And we had our special guest. Special guest, who are you, sir?
Dr. Roderick Leezy, and I forgot
what?
Huh?
Young Thunder.
Young Thunder.
Dr. Roderick Leezy, aka Young Thunder.
Young Thunder.
Hey.
Young Thunder.
My kids gonna have a field day. If they watch this, they finna have a field day.
I know it. That's it.
Wait.
That's it. You gotta have a t-shirt, Young Thunder.
Young Thunder.
Young Thunder. Yo.
You got Doc Babies, you got Taylor Made, no, you got Young Thunder. You got the Young
Thundercats.
The Thundercat. That's what we call it. Anybody came with it.
You are Dr. Young Thundercat from now on, sir. At the game, when I see you this fall, just be ready. When you hear it, you know it's me. Hey, y'all. That's it. Thank y'all for tuning in. We signing off. We logging off. We are out of here. Until next time. Peace out.
Hey.
Tiger Talk TV is presented by Bet Online.